Stand by to roll. Quiet, please. Camera. Action.
Welcome to BrickTrains. I'm Joey, and this is set 1351, the movie backdrop. Already frustrated. So first thing is that you get a little scene with this rolling backdrop, right? So you remember back in the, well, maybe some of you remember back in the old days when they would film car scenes in front of a well, I guess now they would probably film in front of a green screen, but they would, a long time ago, they would actually have a moving image or projected image of whatever you were seeing in the car. This is kind of the same setup. You have this moving image, and then you could put your hero car, your stunt car, or whatever. You see it's got a axle piece there to hold it, and you can vroom, vroom, vroom it around however you want. I mean, I guess that's a pretty cool little play feature. Stuntman doesn't sit in it real well, but hey, what can I say? Stay down in there. No clutch power left. We also get, we'll start with what we get, right? We get the car. We also get a little cameraman. This cameraman, that should be a black antenna handle lever. I think the lever is what's specific, but it should have a yellow base, very similar to that one. For some reason, it has a black base. So, when you buy these sets used, you got to kind of watch those things. So, I got to give me a yellow base for that. We also have this helicopter scene, which I think is pretty cool. You can turn the helicopter, right, and then rotate it back and forth. It's not wanting to slide real well. So you can have your scene. Let's see if we can set this up in the GoPro. Maybe I'll even zoom in a little bit and cut it in there. But you got your helicopter flying along in front of the city, which keeps wanting to stop. Little helicopter flying along, presumably chasing this car. But the action, it can rotate side to side and completely 360-degree rotation with some Technic gears. It's actually got a gearbox built in there, which is pretty cool. It changes the angle of the axle rod from this direction to this direction. So that's pretty cool. Oh, that white dot didn't belong there. And we just lost. Man, it's falling apart as we go here. This rail up. Okay, we're gonna leave that off. That rail's what holds it on. It's getting ready to fall apart. Okay, so we also have the instructions, which these instructions basically just have the setup of the scenes, or the how to set it up. These are basically just regular instructions for just using this model. There was no extra information on how to film stuff, not how to use the software, or any storyline stuff. So, the backdrop. You get this motor right here, right? This is one of the old 9-volt hand controller motors, which had a front and a back. I did not have enough batteries to put in this. This takes AA. I'm going to say it takes AA because that's what I thought it took. If it didn't take AA, shame on me. But I have a lot of AAA for the power functions and the powered up. So I'm using one of Lego's adapter cables. And we're just hiding that back here. And this little motor works off a rubber band, which we got a couple extra, and turns this seam, this paper seam, which is just wrapped around two spindles. I'll insert a little footage right here of me putting this together. You can see how the paper goes around the spindles and the little blocks on top hold it in place. Now, it's not a very positive fit. There's a lot of slippage. You can see that it starts and stops. Plus, this paperwork is 18 years old, so it's not in the best of shape. And in fact, the other seam, this one here, has become untaped. They actually look like I used glue, which I actually did this too. I used a little bit of stick glue to glue this seam back together. It seems to be holding pretty good. Probably should have flattened it out flat first, pressed it under some books or something, which I think is what I'm going to do with this. And I'm going to press it out and then glue it back together, and then stick it in a box for the next 20 years. It definitely seems to be like right here. This is the way this one was folded, like this. So it's got this crease in it, and it seems to be how it keeps getting stopped, and I have to keep pushing it forward. So that's this set. Actually pretty simple, but a lot of kind of cool play features and stuff here with this. I could imagine people making their own. Well, you know what? I imagine people making their own. I don't know how much. I mean, this is actually pretty big. You would have to make a different scene. You'd have to probably paste and glue some stuff together. I know we had printers back then, so color printers even. I mean, I guess it'd be possible to make your own. You definitely have a template for it. So, again, this is I call this one of the smaller sets. When we get into this more as I go along, we're going to see a lot more sets that are really just poly bags and boxes, and they're essentially just extras to go along with the sets that we have. So it's about all I can say for this one. I do like, well, let me go back, because I just realized I forgot about a complete. This is probably going to fall completely apart. Let me pull this apart. There goes the car, and it just went into 1,000 pieces. Well, it probably didn't go into 1,000. It probably went into about 16, because I think that's what was in it. Not only could you do this and this, but you could actually do this. Look at that. Is that not impressive? That is 3 axes of movement there. That is actually pretty impressive, really. I mean, for a toy like this, I'm not sure how you get your hand out of it when you're filming it. And Jabbo has already thrown down the gauntlet and wants me to do another stop motion video, so you know how that goes. Whatever Jabbo wants. Just kidding, Jabbo. At any rate, that's this set. I have the box. For this one, so we'll just try and hold it up for that. Try not to get glare on it. It shows the original set in the back. So, it implies on here that you need the original set, the 1349, to get the camera, to have the camera make your video, because it's showing the camera. So this is definitely one of these items that they're like, well, you need to buy more and able to do everything, or this is an add-on to the 1349. So either way, it was a pretty good little marketing scheme. I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, everybody in Lego's in the business to sell toys, so the more toys, and I like the fact that you have play features that you can build on, the space, the trains, all of that. So yeah. And again, this is one of my favorite sleeper themes anyway. I don't know what I know I've said it, I'm getting old or getting tired of hearing, but the making of the stop motion stuff, I don't have the patience for it. It's really tedious. But for whatever reason, I just cannot. I like it. And we're going to get into some of the other sets that I think I like a lot better. I started with, if you go to the playlist, playlist will be at the end for sure, if not in the card above. I did some of the horror, vampire, those kinds of sets early on. They're in the playlist, and I think they're probably some of my favorites. I like the old Universal monsters. That was always kind of one of my, the old Frankenstein, Boris Karloff, all that kind of stuff. So, and that kind of reminiscence of that. This to me looks more like your classic 80s, 90s cop scene, 2000, I guess, your Starsky and Hutch, your Chip and, what was it? Chips, yeah, Chips. So, big blockbuster Steven Spielberg movies. So, okay, I think that's all I know to say about this set. 1351 Studios Movie Maker theme. This is the movie backdrop, which keeps getting stuck. Thanks for watching.
So, Studio Set 1351 movie backdrop, it had a part in it that was only in 2 sets. But yet this part on BrickLink is not very valuable. What part was it? First correct answer in the comments, and we'll pin you to the top.